Good Thursday evening, 13 News Now meteorologist Evans. An update on Hurricane Ian. That's right, we're talking about a hurricane once again. As the storm exited off the coast of Florida, it re-strengthened back into a hurricane. It was a tropical storm, and it doesn't look like your typical tropical system or even your typical hurricane. It is sort of trying to go in a metamorphosis into what we call an extratropical system, but still, there are a lot of winds with this thing and a lot of rain with it as well. And that's going to be the big concern here across eastern Virginia and North Carolina, the winds and especially the heavy rain. So take a look at the radar right now. You can see that rain stretches all the way up to the Pamlico Sound. So we have seen some of that wet weather start to stream in. What we actually have is a center of circulation down here with the hurricane. And we have a front that's draped across the region. And that's sort of picking up some of that moisture and stretching it out. And that's why we're going to see the rain moving in as early as overnight and into the day on Friday. Let's zoom in. A little bit of closer look at that heavy rain that is just off the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. There's that center of circulation spinning around right in there, and a lot of rain, as we've seen the entire time with this storm, is on the north side of it, and that's the rain that's going to overspread parts of South Carolina. But this is the rain that we're going to see as we go into the day on Friday. So here's the latest from the Hurricane Center as of 8 p.m. Winds of 75 miles per hour. 300 miles south-southwest of Cape Fear, North Carolina. Storm moving to the north-northeast at 10. It is expected as it moves to the north to maybe strengthen a little bit more during the overnight. Winds of 80 miles per hour. And that's not much, but a little bit of strengthening here over the warm waters of the Atlantic. And then tomorrow afternoon, around 2 o'clock, come ashore along the South Carolina coastline. Probably somewhere near or just north of Charleston, South Carolina. And then the remnant low falls apart and sort of just meanders back across western parts of North Carolina and Virginia. One issue there will be the heavy rains over the mountains could cause some flooding, but with the storm lingering close, we will likely see that heavy rain as well. First, with the storm as we head to the day on Friday, maybe a little bit of a break on Saturday before more wet weather moves in as we go through the day on Sunday. Now, this is something else I want to show you. We showed you that cone. We really showed you the potential path for the center of circulation. This whole yellow area, that is the area of tropical storm force winds, some of it being picked up by that front. But you can see that those winds extend, 400 miles away from the center, and that's why we have the tropical storm warnings up for parts of the Adair County, because those winds extend so far to the north and east of the center of this hurricane. Now, as it moves towards the north and makes landfall, just a small area of hurricane force winds. They're right around the center, but again, notice those tropical storm force winds working their way all the way up into southern areas of North Carolina. And as I mentioned, that's why we have the tropical storm warning that is in effect for the Outer Banks of Adair County, Hyde County, and areas along and south of the Albemarle Sound, because the potential is there for tropical storm force, or at least tropical storm force wind gusts. And that'll be the case as we go through the day on Friday as the system works its way closer to the South Carolina coastline. The other big concern, the heavy rain that we could see here across eastern Virginia, North Carolina. So we have a flood watch that'll go into effect Friday morning and run through Saturday morning. So throughout the day Friday, and that includes the peninsula, south side, and northeastern North Carolina, the potential is there for some heavy rain. And the National Weather Service is saying that it is possible that we could see some flash flooding here across coastal Virginia and North Carolina. And flash flooding is likely from Columbia, South Carolina, to Charlotte, up towards Raleigh and Roanoke. And again, one of the big concerns over the mountains of Virginia and North Carolina, when that heavy rain falls on the mountains and it works its way down into the valleys, into streams, they can rise very, very quickly. Even that potential is there for eastern parts of Tennessee, maybe a little bit of eastern Kentucky or southern areas of West Virginia. One of our big concerns as we go through the day on Friday, heavy rain. And if we get a heavier downpour that comes through, or a thunderstorm with some tropical downpours, that could overwhelm some storm drains. And we see that fairly often with some of these summertime thunderstorms, that a lot of rain comes in a short period of time, and that creates some urban flooding, or we see some flooding of low-lying areas in Virginia Beach, or even up across areas of eastern North Carolina. So we'll be watching that very closely through the day on Friday. As far as rainfall amounts, generally about 4 to 6 inches of rain. I think there could be some locally higher amounts if we get one of those heavier downpours. This is the 5-day total. So A lot of this will fall during the day on Friday. Might get a little bit of a break on Saturday, and then the rain will likely pick up again Sunday into Monday. So again, this is a 5-day rainfall forecast, and I think a good portion of this will likely fall during the day on Friday, with a little bit more as we head into late Sunday and early Monday. The other thing we're watching very, very closely are the tides. We're going to have those winds coming in off the water tomorrow, and that allows the tides to sort of pile up. And we are looking at moderate tidal flooding Friday afternoon. This is at Sewell's Point. Moderate tidal flooding begins at 5.5 feet. We're looking at 5.6 feet. And then the winds will shift a bit as we head into the day on Saturday. If you were watching yesterday, we thought the tides would remain high through the day on Saturday. With a little bit of a shift in the wind, we might see those tides let up a little bit. So some improving conditions on Saturday compared to what we were thinking yesterday. But still that moderate tidal flooding as we go through the day on Friday. So here's your 7-day forecast here in Hampton Roads, coastal Virginia and North Carolina. Wind and rain tomorrow, 72. A little bit better forecast for Saturday than what we were thinking yesterday. Now we're looking at partly to mostly cloudy skies, some showers and thunderstorms, 81 degrees, and then more rain moving back in Sunday, especially later into the day, Sunday night into Monday. Monday's looking like a wet day with a high of only 69 degrees, and then things finally start to taper off into the day on Tuesday with some morning showers, some afternoon sunshine, and then partly to mostly sunny skies as we head into the day on Wednesday and Thursday. Of course, we'll have complete updates on air and online, so keep it tuned right here. We'll keep you up to date.